Hi guys, Unboxing Tech here, and with me I have the Samsung Galaxy S24 FE in blue. And in this video, we'll be trying out a bunch of different cases for it, so let's get started. First, we'll start off with a clear case. This is the Ringke Fusion magnetic case, which is a clear case with a MagSafe ring in the middle. It's pretty standard as far as the design goes. It has a hybrid build of TPU sides and a polycarbonate back. Both MagSafe and regular versions are very lightweight with little difference in weight. It was a bit of a tight fit around the edges, but it did snap onto the device with some effort. The clear back does display the phone quite beautifully as well. The Fusion case has a very subtle and clean look that almost makes it look like the phone doesn't have a case on at all. The bottom cutouts are perfectly aligned. On the side here, we see a lanyard hole. Here is the top. And on the sides with the buttons, we see another lanyard hole. The buttons are covered up and super easy to press. We can see here that there's a subtle lifted edge around the top and bottom of the screen. Flipping it over to the back, we see that the camera has individual cutouts, which amplifies the no case look. However, I did notice one issue with this case. As you can see, this case has very little in ways of protection around the back camera. I believe the biggest reason is due to a fitting issue with certain MagSafe accessories and the camera design. There is a small amount of overlap with the bottom camera lens, and it's definitely something you should be aware of before purchasing. However, the MagSafe magnet itself is incredibly strong and sturdy. It requires quite a bit of force to remove accessories from the top, and accessories hold on firmly even with the weight of just the device. Overall, an A+ for magnetic strength. And of course, it does charge with a MagSafe charger as well. The Fusion magnetic case does have a glossy back that's prone to leaving behind fingerprint smudges. If that's something that hugely bothers you, you can check out their Fusion matte version, which doesn't come in a MagSafe version, but the matte back is great at keeping off fingerprints. At the time of shooting this video, the Fusion magnetic case was priced at around $19.99 USD, which isn't cheap, but it's about average for a MagSafe clear case of this quality. Next up is a personal favorite of mine, the Ringke Onyx case. This one is MagSafe compatible. The case is made of TPU, so it's super flexible and elastic. It's also relatively lightweight. The TPU is very easy to put on and requires very little effort to just fit over the edges of the phone. There is a gravel-like texture on the back that's visible to the eye. The bottom cutouts are made to match the device. There are lanyard holes on both sides of the case here as well. The buttons are covered up and easy to press. The biggest selling point of the Onyx case are these easy-to-grip sides that bumps this case up into being a top-tier phone case. On the front, we see a subtle lift at the top and bottom. And at the back, the camera has individual cutouts for a clean, seamless look for maximum protection. And from the side, we can also see that there are actual edges around the camera to keep it protected from scratches. After testing it out, I can safely say that the magnetic strength of the Onyx magnetic case is very strong and dependable. You can also use MagSafe chargers with it. The Ringke Onyx case comes in this black color, or you can also find it in dark green. This case cost about $19.99 USD at the time of filming, which again isn't a bad price for a MagSafe case. Next up is the CaseMate Tough case. This is probably the thinnest case of the list today. It has a soft, matte shell that's made of recycled plastic. This isn't a MagSafe case. Not sure if CaseMate even has one for the S24 FE. This case does feel very slim, and it weighs in at 32.9 grams. It snaps on very easily and keeps the phone looking clean and simple. It doesn't have any identifiable designs aside from the branding on the bottom, which I kinda like. Let's take a look at all four sides. There aren't any noticeable issues as the cutouts are sized to match. The buttons are covered up and easy to press. And here is when I noticed a fatal flaw with this case. The cutouts around the screen are weirdly sized, especially noticeable at the corners. You can see the sliver of the phone edge underneath the case, and it looks like an absolute mess. I made sure it was for the S24 FE, so I can only imagine that this is a sizing error on CaseMate's part. It's definitely not the best, but at least the edges are raised above the screen. On the back, we see the open cutout around the camera with a lifted edge around it as well. Also, I will blame Amazon for it, but this case had some adhesive gunk on the back. Even after scrubbing with a cleaning cloth, I couldn't get it fully off. The grip is also subpar as the material is very smooth and there are no grips on the side. This case is going for $40 USD, which is incredibly pricey for a regular case of this quality, and it doesn't have any outstanding features. In fact, these flaws are the reasons I'm giving a hard no on the CaseMate Tough Case for the S24 FE. Moving on, we have the Tudia Merge case. The Merge is a double-layered case with a TPU inside and a hard polycarbonate shell. The double layer is great to have that extra cushioning for protection, though it does bulk up the phone a little bit, and it is a bit heavier compared to other cases as well. Despite the double layer, it's very easy to put on the Merge case, and I do really enjoy the end results. Let's check out all the cutouts and sides. I didn't notice any issues with them. The buttons on this case are covered and easy to press. There is a very slight lift around the front screen. And the back camera has an open cutout, which also has a very subtle lift around it as well. There are these sections on the sides that have these patterns that are probably there for helping with gripping the phone, but it's not super effective. I've always thought the Tudia Merge was a little slippery, and because it's bulkier, it is more difficult to hold as well. The Merge case for the S24 FE is in a MagSafe case. It's currently priced at $15.99 USD, which is a very fair price, and the case itself is a great choice for protection. But if you really want to protect your phone, here's a recommendation for you. This is the Poetic Guardian case. It's not a double-layered case so much as it is a two-piece case. It's a case that uniquely comes with a built-in screen protector. The weight without the screen protector is 56 grams, and with it is over 60 grams. Let's put on the screen protector first. Poetic gave us everything we need to clean our phone to prep for installation. Funny thing I noticed is that the tab to remove the plastic film is up here, but the remove film sticker is down here. Poetic probably needs to update that. We'll go ahead and remove all the plastic wrapping on the front screen cover and very carefully snap it onto the device. There is a sticky part here that lets you use the S24 FE's fingerprint reader. Then we'll prep the back case by removing the film from it as well, and piece the two parts together. here's the finished product. I really like how this blue looks with the case. On the bottom, you can see that the Guardian case has a dust cap over the charging port. Here are the ridged sides, along with the cover buttons that are fairly easy to press. The sides of the case are very thick, so it's kind of hard to see all the speakers and mics. Of course, the screen protection level of the Guardian is top-notch. No surprises there. The back camera does have a fully open cutout with a great amount of lift around it. The sides are ridged from top to bottom, and as you can imagine, they are there to help with gripping the phone, and honestly, it works fairly well. Let's also test to make sure the fingerprint reader actually works. I did have to rescan my finger, but the fingerprint reader works through the screen protector a good 99% of the time. The only issue is that it leaves an ugly wet mark in the middle of the screen that's visible even when the screen is on. So if that bothers you, there's an option without the screen cover. However, because of how the front screen edges are designed, it may be hard to find a separate screen protector that is compatible with this case. The Poetic Guardian was priced at around $19 USD at the time of filming. It is a bit bulky and heavy, so I recommend it only to people who absolutely need the most amount of protection they can get at an affordable price. Lastly, we have the UAG Pathfinder case in olive drab. This is a hybrid case with flexible TPU sides and a super durable polycarbonate back. It weighs around 43 grams, which is pretty average. It fits on the phone super easily and has a very distinct design that'll definitely catch eyes. By the way, don't be fooled by the faux nuts and bolts on the back. They don't do anything. Checking out the cutouts all around, it looks like the case is designed very well, and there's lanyard holes on the bottom corners as well. The buttons are covered up and easy to press. There is a slight lift around the screen, and the back camera has individual cutouts with a slightly lifted edge in the shape of a P. I know that UAG is pretty well known for their great protection. To be honest, the design itself isn't something I would choose for myself, but I still think it's a great looking case. Plus, it has MagSafe. By the way, the sides also have these ridges on it to help with the grip. But I noticed while doing my usual shake test that this case hurts. It doesn't have the best touch feel overall, and definitely don't shake the phone. You can boost the grip by adding on a MagSafe accessory. The magnet is super strong, so it'll definitely hold up your phone. Plus, you can use a MagSafe charger as well. However, this case is super pricey at $55 USD. It's quite the investment, and you'll probably have to use it from the beginning to end of your S24 FE lifetime, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And those are the cases for the Galaxy S24 FE I have today. I've linked all the cases in the description box below. My top rec was the Ringke Onyx, and this CaseMate Tough case is now on my blacklist. If you have any questions or you have a recommendation, leave me a comment and I'll try to answer you if I can. Anyway, thanks for watching until the end. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!